Good day, everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you the steps in problem solving. Now, these steps were introduced by George Polya. Please watch my 3 uploaded videos on the introduction to problem solving before you watch this video. So, the first talks about translating verbal statements to mathematical symbols using the operation addition. Then the second, using the subtraction operation. And then the third, using the multiplication and division operations. So please watch all of these videos. You may click the link or the links below. So let's have here the steps in solving word problems. So first, we have understand the problem. Second step, devise a plan. Third step, carry out the plan. And then the fourth step, look back. Now let's discuss first the first step. So understand the problem. Now to better understand the problem, it is very helpful to ask what type of problem at hand and what is being asked in the problem. You can also ask, what are the unknown quantities? Take note that if there are 2 or more unknowns, it is recommended not to use another variable. So you may express the other unknown in terms of the other. So I will discuss that later on. And also, if there is a way to restate the problem in your own words, you can restate it. So let's consider here an example to illustrate the first step. So the problem is the sum of 2 consecutive even numbers is 22. Now, what are these 2 even numbers? So we have here the problem. Now, in this problem, to use the first step, we can represent the unknown quantities because we're talking here, we are to find rather 2 even numbers wherein if we are going to add them, the sum is 22. So here, because we are to find the 2 even numbers here. So here we are going to find 2 even numbers. So we can represent the first even number. So we can represent it by x. So actually x is a representation of any number. Now in this problem, we can represent x as the first even number. So because we are going to find 2 even numbers, so we represented already the first even number, that is x. So to represent the second even number, it is x plus 2. So actually I discussed this one, how to represent the second even number on my previous uploaded video. So that is part 1 of my previously uploaded video. So please watch it. So here we're done in the first step. So let's have here the second step, which is to devise a plan. So this step includes the strategies that you are going to use to attack the problem. So you can set up the equation by translating the problem into algebraic expressions. If it can be applied to the problem, then you can look for patterns if it is applicable, or you can draw pictures or illustrations, or you can work backwards for patterns, or you can eliminate possibilities and others. So let's work on the second step in this given problem. So here, in this problem, we can set up the equation wherein we are going to translate the problem into algebraic expression. Because here in our first step, we have already represented the two even numbers. And then the problem states here that the sum of two consecutive even numbers is 22. Now, in this case, we can translate this one to algebraic expression. So again, if you have watched my previously uploaded video, so it's not difficult for you to translate. So here, we have here first even number plus second even number because we are to find the sum of two consecutive even numbers. So here, we're going to add the first and the second. And then the sum is 22. So the sum is equal to 22. So here, first even number is x. And the second even number is x plus 2. So we're going to add them and the sum is 22. So that is how to set up the equation. So we're done in step number 2. Now let's proceed to step number 3, which is to carry out the plan. Here, we will be implementing the strategies derived from step number 2. So we are to solve the problem, or rather the variable in the given equation. And then we can try another strategy or modify if the first one won't work out. So here, let's have step number 3. So we will solve the given equation from step number 2. So we have here the given equation from step number 2. So it is the same as writing that one. We can remove the parentheses because the grouping here, this x plus 2, is preceded by a positive sign. So we can remove the parentheses without changing the sign inside. So we add x plus x. This is equal to 2x. Then copy the rest. Then after that, you copy 2x here. And then you move this 2x to the other side. So it becomes 22 minus 2. Then this becomes 2x equals, this is 20. Then you divide both sides by 2 to isolate x in this side. So hence we have here x equals 10. So 20 divided by 2 is 10. So we're done in step number 3. Let's now proceed to step number 4. So in this step, we will look back to the given problem. So here in the given problem, we are going to find two even numbers here in our problem whose sum is 22. So two consecutive even numbers whose sum is 22. Then, what does the problem talk about? What do you want to find? Here you can check whether or not the conditions in the problem are satisfied by the obtained value or variable. Now, this step is sometimes overlooked. Our solution cannot be ascertained correct since the equation you made may not be correct in the first place. So here it is very important to check whether or not the conditions in the problem are satisfied by the obtained value or variable. So let's proceed to step number 4 in this problem here. So step number 4. So what is the problem all about? Here, we are to find the consecutive even numbers, two consecutive even numbers. Now, take note that we represented it as x for the first even number. And then from step number 3, we have found out that x is equal to 10, right? And then for the second even number, it is represented by x plus 2. So if we are going to substitute x here equals 10, we have 10 plus 2, which is equal to 12. So this is our second even number. Now here, we will check if we have arrived at the correct answer. So let's try to go back to our problem. Because we are to find two consecutive even numbers whose sum is 22. So we will check this one. So we will add 10 and 12. Is the sum 22? So here we have found out that the sum of the first even integer and the second even integer is 22. Hence, we can say that 10 and 12 are the two even numbers whose sum is 22. So we're done solving the given problem. So let's have here another example. The sum of two numbers is 21. The second number is twice the first. What are these numbers? So let's try to use the steps to solve this problem. So let's have here step number 1 for our solution. Okay, let's have step number 1. So for step number 1, we're going to represent what is required in the problem. So here we are to find the two numbers. So first and the second number. So we can represent x for the first number. So we have here x. So we let x be the first number. And then to represent the second, we have here the condition that the second is twice the first. So again, it is recommended not to use another variable to represent the second variable. So we better use the same variable here in our second number. So we will be representing it using the first number. So we will just represent it. We have here twice the first. So for twice the first, we can write this 2x. So in representing this one, I discussed this already in my previously uploaded video. That is part 3 of the uploaded video. So this is the second number. Okay. So we are done. Step number 1. So let's proceed to step number 2. So for step number 2, we will be setting up an equation out from this problem. So because we are to look for the sum of two numbers, that is 21. So here, we are going to add the two numbers. So we have x. So x plus 2x is equal to 21. This is to translate this phrase, sum of two numbers is 21. So we have this one. And then for step number 3, we are going to solve the translated equation. So we have here, we add, this is 3x, which is equal to 21. Divide both sides by 3. So we have x equals 7. Now for step number 4, okay, step number 4, we have here the first number is x. So this is the first number, which is x, which is equal to 7. And then for the second number, we have 2x, which is equal to 2 times 7 is 14. So here we have here the two numbers, 7 and 14. But we will check this first before we conclude that 7 and 14 are the two numbers that we are looking. So to check this, we will go back to the problem because we have here the sum of two numbers is 21. And then the second number is twice the first. So obviously, 14 is twice of 7. So we will be checking if the sum of 7 and 14 is 21. So we have here 7 plus 14, is it equal to 21? So of course, 7 plus 14 is 21. So our answer is correct. Hence, you can say that 7 and 14 are the two numbers whose sum is 21. So that's it. So as simple as that. So there are many problems wherein you will not only be setting the equation, unlike the problems here, the illustrated problems here. So in my next video, I will discuss on the problem wherein we are not just set up the equation, rather we can observe patterns or other different strategies that we can apply. So for now, we have this problem. So I hope you have learned a lot from this discussion. So thank you for watching this video. God bless everyone.